Every year there seems to be a new high school basketball phenom in the world, and especially in today's day and age where hoop mixtapes go viral so easily thanks to the production teams from several big-time channels such as Ball is Life, Overtime, and several others, these young guys are getting more attention than ever. This year, the son of arguably the best player in the history of basketball, LeBron James, is beginning his high school journey at Sierra Canyon, and with that has come a frenzy of media coverage to a degree arguably never seen before. Everything his son Bronny James does on the court now is being seen by hundreds of thousands of people through not only YouTube, but also through ESPN, who cover most of their games live. However, for this video, I'm actually not going to be discussing Bronny, and instead, we'll be talking about the rest of his Sierra Canyon team, because this team is so unbelievably loaded with talent, and we very well may be watching several future NBA stars play together on a high school team. They've got numerous 5-star players, strong upperclassmen, and even some other younger players besides Bronny who will likely start to get recruited by big-time programs as well. So today, we'll discuss each of them, what makes them so good as a prospect, where they're getting recruited, and what their future could hold. Before we start though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now, with that being said, let's begin. The first player we'll discuss is Zaire Wade, who I feel like it's kind of cheating to talk about him in a video like this because he too is the son of an NBA legend in Dwayne Wade. However, he's not receiving nearly the amount of hype that Bronny is. Wade is a senior this year, and yet doesn't even start for this Sierra Canyon team. He has unfortunately been injured for most of the season, but he made his return off the bench 2 games ago and has been slowly integrating himself back into the rotation. He hasn't really produced all that much, but most of his film as a prospect has come on the AAU circuit and several invitational camps he took part in over the past few summers. He's only a 3-star recruit this year, fielding offers from DePaul, Nebraska, Rhode Island, and Toledo, so by no means is he on track to be a one-and-done player en route to the NBA. He will have to continue to work hard and likely play a few years, if not all 4 in college, before he gets a chance at the pros, which is fine. Zaire has been adamant about wanting to create his own path without having to rely on his dad, and while he's by no means guaranteed success at the next level, he has the right mindset and the work ethic to get there. Now let's discuss the player who, in my opinion, is the best player on Sierra Canyon, BJ Boston. Of the Sierra Canyon games I've tuned into, Boston has always been the player that has stood out the most as a big-time playmaker. He's the 12th ranked player in this year's senior class according to ESPN, is a 5-star recruit, and has already committed to one of the biggest programs in college basketball at Kentucky. What I love so much about his game is the fact that despite how thin and lanky he appears to be, he actually possesses so much skill already and can score the ball in a plethora of ways. Boston stands at 6'6", but has crazy long arms, and that combination of height and length on the wing will serve him well moving forward. Most of the time when you encounter a young prospect with this kind of size and length, while also being pretty thin like Boston is, they lack the proper skill and rely on their length to just get their shot off over or through opponents, but struggle with physicality. But that's not the case with Boston. He's a phenomenal athlete, has a very tight and quick handle, a fluid pull-up jumper, and can score from all 3 levels. He's averaging 20 points per game this season, which leads Sierra Canyon, and Coach Calipari has to be excited about bringing him in next year. The reason that he's not ranked higher as a player in this class, as I mentioned earlier, is because of how thin he is, weighing only 175 pounds, so he will need to bulk up a bit as he gets older, but based solely on his production on the court, I think he's easily one of the 10 best players in the class of 2020. Now, moving on to another senior on the team who is actually seen by many as the best player on the team and ranked higher than BJ Boston on the recruiting rankings, let's discuss Zaire Williams. Williams and Scott are very similar in a lot of ways, and both absolutely deserve to be ranked as high as they are on recruiting lists. He's 6'8", yet has the fluidity and smoothness of a guard. With the ball in his hands, he's a threat to shoot it from anywhere, and has the ball handling ability ability to take defenders off the dribble. His quick shooting stroke combined with the range that he's comfortable shooting from will absolutely translate to the next level, as teams love guys with his size that can shoot the ball that well. He had to sit out most of the season so far because of transfer rules, but he made his return to the court about a week ago and immediately made his presence felt, dropping 28 points. However, like Boston, he too will need to bulk up a good bit as he translates to the next level, as he only weighs 180 pounds and definitely looks visibly thin. He has offers from several big-time programs such as Duke, UNC, Arizona, Oregon, UCLA, and USC, but at the moment is undecided, so he could be a massive addition to the recruiting class of any of those schools. Next up for discussion on this Sierra Canyon team is Amari Bailey, who is currently a sophomore shooting guard on the team. Bailey is yet another elite prospect on the team who is currently rising through the ranks at a vast rate. He's been drawing attention since he was very young, as he actually committed to play for DePaul all the way back in the 8th grade, before he ultimately decommitted. Then he committed to UCLA, only for him to decommit again, so at the moment he's undecided. He's currently ranked as the 6th best player in the class of 2022, and is a firm 5-star recruit, so as he continues to get older, I have no doubts that he'll draw attention from several big-time programs. Plus, he's already played a big role in the Team USA pipeline, having won a gold medal with the U16 team. Despite being so young, he has a major role on Sierra Canyon, and is one of the team's leading scorers, putting up about 16 points per game. He oozes with confidence, has such a mature offensive game already, and has a smooth lefty stroke that he shoots jumpers with at a high level. Unlike his two teammates that I've already discussed that need to put on some weight, Bailey embraces contact and has the strength to finish through the contact. He said himself that he loves to play physical, and for a player in his position, that's going to help him a ton. He's also said that he's going to take his time before he commits to a new school now, after having already decommitted twice, but whatever choice he comes to, I'm sure will make that school overjoyed that they could land a player just like him. Up next is another sophomore on the team, being Shai Odom. Odom is a 6'6" wing player that may not be getting as much attention at this point in the recruiting scene as Bailey, but he definitely has the potential to down the line. He's taken part in Team USA training camps with Bailey and has a meager role off the bench for Sierra Canyon, but that's more so a testament to how ridiculously talented this team is than it is a knock on him. ESPN only ranks the top 25 for the sophomore class, and he does not appear on that list. However, as he gets to be a junior and a senior, and those lists get bigger and bigger, I would be shocked if he wasn't someone in the top 100. Right now, he already has offers to 3 Division I schools, being Georgetown, Tulane, and Boston University. Along with his height, he's also very strong, weighing 220 pounds, and he too loves to play physical. Now, I know we've already discussed a ton of players that all seem to have very bright futures in the game of basketball, which is ridiculous for one high school team, but there's one last player we need to discuss who may be the most interesting, being Harold Yu. Yu is a junior center that stands at a height of 7'3", towering over any opponent he comes across. He came to America a little over a year ago from China to pursue a future in basketball, and his development is going to be very interesting to follow. The obvious comparison for him would be Yao Ming because of his height and his nationality, but he does possess many similar attributes as Yao on the court. Yu obviously does most of his work in the paint, both on offense and defense. He has terrific touch around the basket, a plethora of post moves at his disposal that make him even harder to guard on top of him being so tall, and he can even step out and knock down jumpers every now and then. Then on defense, he makes it difficult for anyone to finish at the rim when he's in the way because he simply can just raise his arms and get contests on the shooters that will throw them off. One obvious knock on him is that he's a bit slow, but we've seen players like Taco Fall recently still be able to make their way to the league despite these worries, so as long as Yu continues to work hard, he too should be able to achieve his dreams of making it to the league. That right there was just 6 players alongside Bronny James that all seem to be well on their way to making names for themselves in the basketball world, and they all somehow play on the same high school team. Bronny gets all the attention because of who his dad is, and honestly, rightfully so. But after watching this video, you should now know a little bit more about the rest of the guys he plays with if you ever happen to tune in to one of Sierra Canyon's many nationally televised games. And with that being said now, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your thoughts on these Sierra Canyon players. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.